Welcome to another episode of Healthcare Connections podcast, powered by Healthcare Compliance Pros. I am your host, Jeremy Winn. Our purpose for this podcast is to introduce you to key topics and experts in the healthcare industry to ensure you have what you need to successfully manage your practice. Please subscribe and follow us on our social media channels to make sure you don't miss any new episodes. If you have recommendations for guests or topics for this podcast, email me at jwin@hcp.md. With that, enjoy this episode of the Healthcare Connections podcast. Hello and welcome to this episode of the Healthcare Connections podcast. Today we've got a first for this podcast. We have two guests joining us today, and I'm excited for that. We've got two of our good friends from Orthopedic Care Partners, or OCP, as you may know them. We've got Grady Wilson. He's the Chief Development Officer, and Surry Wood, the Vice President of Corporate Development. So welcome, guys. Good to have you here today.
Thanks for having us, Jeremy.
Thank you for having us.
For sure. So I want to give you a chance to give a much better and more thorough introduction to our listeners. So Grady, we'll have you go first. Just give us more of your background and what you're doing with OCP and how long you've been there, etc.
Sure, happy to. So I've been with OCP for about 3.5 years. I joined in September of 2021. I'm responsible for leading our partnerships with practices as well as physician recruiting and driving ancillary growth. Prior to that, I had helped lead acquisitions for one of the largest dental support organizations in the U.S. with over 400 locations. Before that, was in the private equity-backed dermatology world. Really joined a startup that we built from scratch, and so it's been unique to be at different size organizations, from a startup to more of a mid-size with OCP, and then the larger business, the dental business I was at. Prior to that, I was in Chicago for about 8 years, doing a number of different things, from investor relations for a publicly traded company to corp dev and corp finance, corporate strategy, and corporate venture investing. I didn't think I'd ever be doing what I'm doing now, but life has a fun way of having different twists and turns, and here we are.
Awesome. Thanks for that. Surry, love to hear the same from you.
Yeah, absolutely. So actually, I started my career on the device side, working for a company called DePuy MyTech, which is now DePuy Synthes. And so spent a number of years there. So a lot of surgery cases, and actually went back to business school and used that as a transition point to get more on the finance side of things. And so after school, went to go work for Barclays in New York in their healthcare investment banking group, helping companies raise debt, equity, buy and sell side advisory services. So did that for a number of years, and I'd say probably spent the last 10 of those years within the private equity backed healthcare services role. Similar to Grady, was in the dental side there with a regional dental group. More recently was with a group on the outpatient behavioral health side, and joined OCP a couple years ago. Just an opportunity to get back to it. It's an exciting industry and in a space that I'm passionate about. So we're excited to have that conversation today.
Awesome. Appreciate that, both of you. So for our listeners, we've had a really good relationship with OCP for a number of years. They're a good client of ours as they've grown. It's been really fun to help support them from a compliance perspective. And I thought it'd be good to bring you guys on today. The largest specialty that we support here at Healthcare Compliance Pros is orthopedics. And so I thought it'd be helpful to let you introduce OCP a little bit. So Grady, I'll give this one to you. Tell us a little bit more about Orthopedic Care Partners.
Sure, happy to. Orthopedic Care Partners, or OCP as we like to call it, we were actually founded in 2017 when Varsity Healthcare Partners, a leading lower middle market healthcare focused private equity fund, partnered with a group out of Gainesville, Florida. And that was really the foundational building block for launching our organization. From there, over the last 7+ years, we've gone on to complete 23 practice partnerships. Those have ranged in size from single doc practices up to 30 or 35 docs in a practice. We've done some larger, more notable ones, entering Colorado via a partnership with the Stedman Clinic, which we're very proud of. We also entered the Missouri market via a partnership with Motion Orthopedics and have grown around that market. We went into Arizona partnering with Tucson Orthopedic Institute, and then more recently entering our fifth state at the beginning of 2024, going into Utah, your neck of the woods, with a really top-notch, high-quality group out of Park City in Salt Lake City, the Orthopedic Partners. And sorry, I forgot to mention our first partnership with the Orthopedic Institute. But we've really had experience partnering with all shapes and sizes. We've demonstrated that the practices are really better with us than without us, and really accelerating that growth within practices in a manner that's faster than they could otherwise do on their own. All these practices have, I would say, uniqueness that we have to embrace based on the communities that they're operating in, the patients that they're seeing, whether it's a Medicare driven community, a commercial insurance driven community. Our practice in Missouri is work comp focused. And so really being able to share those best practices and knowledge throughout the organization to make sure that our practices are performing the best that they can operationally, and then helping them drive growth. And then navigating, I would say, the complexities of the healthcare environment with things like compliance, things changing out of Washington, having to deal with the insurance companies, those sort of things. And so we're really proud of the organization we've built. We haven't set out to be one of the largest, but we are, just by virtue of having been around for so long. Our goal is to be the highest quality. And so we want to partner with best in class practices that have great brands and reputations in their community. They wanted a partner to help support them and drive growth. And we've been lucky to be able to find this.
Awesome. Appreciate that. And Surrey, follow up to that. Obviously there's probably a lot of options that orthopedic groups, they probably get a lot of people calling on them saying, come join us, come be with us, let us invest in you. Why does a group typically join OCP?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I'd say you're right. We do speak in a number of groups all the time, and so I'd say the ones that we speak to are the ones that want to remain independent, but want a capital or strategic partner. So all the groups that we talk to and all of our practice physicians, we promise one thing, and we deliver it, and that's they will always have full clinical autonomy. Nobody at OCP is ever going to tell them how to see patients, when to see patients, what time to see patients, when to take call, all of these kind of things. So that's up to the doctors, and that's something that we really go into. But what we do is we do support them with value added resources, capital, and execution capabilities. I'd say one of the things and that we hear most often from different groups is payer contracting, and we've been
Yeah.
successful in 4 of our 5 markets within helping them negotiate their contracts. I'd say the fifth one is more of a function of time, and that's something we're actively doing right now. We're only a year into that partnership, just at the 1 year mark, and so we're actively doing that right now. From a back office perspective, what we do is we help keep the people that help make the process successful. So I'd say that our support on that side is a bit more supplementary in nature. That's revenue cycle management, or billing as collections. You may think about it, it's accounting and AP. It's important for us. As Grady said, he talked about 5 of our bigger partner practices, but we've done 23 of these partnerships. And so it's important for us to be uniform across all those different locations from an accounting and finance perspective. If you think about our ownership as well. We also help support on the payroll side, benefits. And then a big part of what we do that a lot of groups sometimes really come after and talk to us about is the IT. So that's not just hardware, but that's software. Every day it feels like you're reading about a hack or a group got hacked into, and so that's something we take very seriously and support our practices with. And so it's not something that's lost on us that we need to invest in that, and that's something that we do a lot. There's also data analytics and those kind of things. We can slice and dice data and help doctors as they want to refine their practice. Another area I'll touch on though is is that we do is capital and execution, right? And so we bring capital to our partners, and the execution capabilities. Um, to put it bluntly, growth is expensive, right? Doctors, when they're looking to us, this is join our group is they don't have to fund this themselves. This could be recruiting a new physician who they're competing with another hospital with or another group with. They could be adding physical therapy. Or looking to open another location or even go to an ASC level. So it's really hard to do those things and to do those things alone if you maybe have not done those before. Where we have done different things at each one of our practices. Of the 150 doctors, give or take, where we are today, 50 of those doctors we've actually recruited ourselves. So we have in-house recruiting capabilities. So we're really good on that side and really strong on that side because one, we've got a really good story to tell, but also it's because of the practices that we've partnered with. They have a great culture, high quality, and places that people want to go work for. So, on the ancillary side, in terms of adding those type of things to our practices, and maybe they already have them, but they want to refine them, or maybe they don't have them and they really want to help build those up from the ground up, and so leverage the expertise that we've done because we've done it 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times. A lot of these type of things, and so give an example for you. So we partnered with the Orthopedic Partners in Park City last year, and one of the areas that they identified they wanted help with was opening physical therapy. So we helped find and recruit somebody to help run that program. It's been open for a few months now and is going gangbusters. So it's been really successful for us and helps us in terms when Grady and I go out and talk to the groups that we are, honoring what we're doing. We say we're going to do this, and this is what we're going to go. Help support the practice on. So, on the ASC side, if we've been successful, I think we now own several ASCs that we partnered with our physicians on, namely in Missouri, Florida, and also in Colorado. So, and continue to look to add to that roster as well.
Love that. Appreciate that, Surry. That was really good.
Absolutely. I'd say one more note, Jeremy, just to talk about here.
Yeah.
Is one of the things that we do is you know we always tell groups, if you're going to do this with a group this been there, done that before, and so that's we have as good of a story to tell as we think about how we structure our transactions and the growth that our doctors have seen, and we've got a ton of case studies to help back that up as well. And so happy to talk to groups and have those conversations and show them how we've helped grow the different practices. On the ownership side, Varsity Healthcare Partners has been a great partner to us. I'd say that they are a healthcare only group, and so this is what all they do all day, every day, and they've done it for a long time now. So, they are currently on their fifth fund, and so you don't get to funds 2, 3, 4, 5 unless you're doing something that's really successful. So we've also got great partners on the capital side as well.
Awesome. And I can vouch for Varsity. We've got great relationships with them, and they seem to hit it out of the park every time. So that's awesome. Um,
Sure.
yeah, Grady. This one's you know we talk about private equity, with Varsity in particular, who's you guys are backed by, but there's a lot of misconceptions about private equity out there, and probably OCP as well. I'd love to give you a chance to maybe address some of those misconceptions, and because bad press is what always leads, right? So I think it'd be great to talk through that a little bit.
No, I'm glad you asked that, and it's a great question. I think unfortunately we all get lumped into the same group when it's healthcare and private equity, and I always tell people, if you know one private equity backed orthopedic group, you know one private equity backed orthopedic group, because the reality is that we all have different models, we all have different approaches to partnership, as Surrey talked about. There's certain things in our partnerships that are non-negotiable, certain things that we're going to centralize that he touched on, whether that's accounting and finance, IT, HR, moving to a standard practice management system, EHR. We don't do those things for the heck of it, for lack of better terms. We do it because it can drive value and add value to our practices. But unfortunately, someone may see a headline in the New York Times or Wall Street Journal, and they think we're all the same. And so I think that's part of it, that there's just been some noise out there in the papers about groups that may not do things right. I sometimes you'll open the paper and see a private practice that's committing Medicare fraud. And that
Yeah.
doesn't mean that all private practices are bad. Or you may see a hospital that's not doing things the right way. That doesn't mean all hospitals are bad. I always just challenge people to do their own research, to learn more about the organization that they may be looking into, to have conversations with the physicians, to see how the partnerships have gone. As Surry said, our own kind of personal brands and reputations are in the line when we're working with sellers to structure and ultimately get one of these partnerships done. And I think I can speak for him in saying this, that that's too important to us to sell someone up the river, so to speak. And so we're going to be very honest about what a partnership looks like. And for some people, that may not be what they're looking for. And so I think a big misconception to your question is that all private equity backed orthopedic groups are bad. The reality is that we do a ton of good for the practices that we're partnering with, the communities that we're serving, helping reach more patients in need of care, which this is about at the end of the day. Providing, I would say, the best of both worlds to physicians that want to keep that independence. They get the benefit of private practice feel and autonomy and entrepreneurship in our model, but they get the resources, the capital of a larger organization as well. And so I think just because there have been some issues in other spaces, it doesn't mean that we're all the same. There's a lot out there that do a lot of good things.
Love that. Let's stick to that a little bit, Surrey. So speaking of mergers and acquisitions, and let's focus on the orthopedic space. But what are some of the trends you're seeing? Maybe from 2024. Is there anything carrying forward, or things looking to be a little bit different in 2025?
Yeah, yeah, that's a really good question, and so every year is a little bit different. And as I think about going back to the history of how long these partnerships with private equity have been going on with orthopedics, right? It's not like it's been going on for 20, 30, 40 years, right? So I think this really started in 2015, 16, and 17. And so we're probably still in those early innings as you think about this industry in terms of these types of partnerships. And so I'd say the further you get into this, the more educated that the doctors are on this, and they've heard some friends who have done it. They've done their own research. They've talked to a banker or somebody like that along the way, and just gotten a little more education. So some of that's true, some's not true, some are myths, as Grady just talked about, right? But so we have to have those conversations as well. But just thinking about where we are today and where we're going is, I think we did see a little bit of a slower 2024, to be candid about it. Those are due to some macro headwinds, interest rates, election year, all those kind of things. People want to see where things are going, and so you've seen these rate cuts. You've also seen some other groups that have done some transactions. So one, we're active on the trail right now. Having a lot of conversations with the group. So we're really optimistic about an active 2025, and seeing some new groups joining OCP this year. So it'll be a fun year for us.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, Grady, last question. I'm going to give this one to you. Just tell us, what's the latest, news with OCP? Anything exciting happening that, maybe it's happened recently or you're looking forward to over the next few months that you want to talk about?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked that. So we're calling it a little bit of OCP 2.0. We're certainly really proud of the organization we built over the last 7+ years. The practices, the physicians, the employees that have been a part of our organization. But we're really excited about where we're going. I think the first thing I'd highlight is the leadership team and the talent that we've brought to our organization over the last 6 months or so. We brought on a new CEO, Tim Corvino, who joined us, call it late summerish. And he's really hit the ground running in terms of building out the management team and setting where we want to take the organization going forward. We also brought on Ed Tufaro as our president and chief operating officer, who joined us from Rothman Orthopedics, where he was the CEO there. In addition to that, we've got some other team members, Jennifer Shank, who's our general counsel and chief of staff, who was outside counsel. She had worked for Ortho Carolina for a number of years. And we're in the process of bringing on a CFO and chief technology officer as well. And so the knowledge, I would say the functional knowledge, the capabilities that we have on the management team, as well as people that just really know orthopedics, is, I think, second to none. And that's going to provide a ton of value to our practices. The second thing is that we closed a strategic investment with Brookfield, which was announced in early December. There was a press release out there about it. And so we're really excited to bring on another partner into our business to help really drive and fuel our next wave of growth. As Surry said, we're excited to try to be one of the most active out there to really find the highest quality partnerships that we can. And from a capital standpoint, we've got the ability to get those partnerships done, but also to continue to invest in our existing practices and grow the organization. And so we're gearing up for a big 2025, but excited about the team that's in place, as well as having a new partner on to help fuel that growth.
That's awesome. Congrats. That's so you're primed and ready, as Surry mentioned, a more active 2025. Sounds like you've got plenty of ammo there. You're ready to roll and find others that want to join.
Our bosses remind us of it every day.
That's awesome. So that's a great transition to maybe wrap this up. But anybody that would be interested in talking, with you, either of you, more about the opportunity to join up with OCP, what's the best way to connect with you?
Yeah, great question. We're happy to provide contact information, although we may get spammed from some people. We do have a way to contact us through our website, through our partnerships section. Those come directly to Surry and myself, so we see that if someone wants to reach out. I know a lot of your clients may ask you about us, and so to the extent that they do, and you want to make those introductions, we're happy to have a conversation with them.
Okay. And the website, ocpmgmt.com, right?
That's right. Yep.
Right. So that's the website. So yeah, you can go find Grady and Surry on there and get in contact with them. But guys, thank you so much. It's been fun having you on. I appreciate it. I'm excited to see what you guys do this year. So you've built up the expectations. Now I want to watch you guys follow through. It'll be great.
No, we're excited. Maybe we can do an end of year check-in and let you know how it all played out. But you guys,
right,
I just want to say you guys are a great partner. You've been a great partner to us as we've grown our organization. And so really appreciate the support that you've provided and given us the opportunity to come on and just tell a little bit about ourselves. I've got the Peloton calling me, so may have to run, but really enjoyed it.
Hey, I love it. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Healthcare Connections podcast. For more information on the topic we covered today, you can reach out to me or to our guest. For any additional information on healthcare compliance pros, feel free to email me at jwin@hcp.md. Don't forget to tune in next week. Thank you.